What's up, YouTube? It's me, John, again here. Doing a video. It's kind of got two topics. One is an update, just to show you the kind of progress you can make if you stick to it with refining your holsters. And another is sort of a collection of bits and pieces of advice and tips and tricks that I want to offer to people who are just getting started in this. I mean, I haven't gone that far with this yet. I've only been doing it maybe for a couple months, if not only a few weeks of like really being dedicated to it and working on it a couple times a week. But you know, just some things that I wish I had known, or things that I do that may be helpful to other people. So, you know, obviously, here we go. We have an empty gun. This is the newest holster that I've made. It's for the Kimber Ultra Carry. I've done some increased refinements, and I changed the way I did the belt loops. This is my second generation of these belt loops here, and I sanded them and took some of the ridiculous edges off of them. But they work really well. They're extremely easy to make, and they're effective. Wanted to show you this holster here. It's brown and gray, which looks freaking great. I love it. It matches the gun. I've got the scroll saw working for me to do these really elaborate cuts here and here, and I've taken the time to flare the holster away a little bit. The holster makes sure that the safety stays on, and we've got good clearance everywhere here, especially down here, and the retention is good. I'm paying extra special attention to the edges. Both of my panels are still a little irregular in how well they match up, but instead of them looking, the holsters used to look homemade, and now I'd like to think they just look handmade. You know, there's a distinction here, but the fit and finish is definitely improving. I'm trying to bevel the edge a little bit more, and if I like burn it a little bit with a torch or something, I sand the burn mark off. I'm really trying to commit to making these like a really finished object. But the definition's good, the shape is good, the retention's good. Man, it's pretty solid. Looks like the real deal, doesn't it? Looks like I'm pretty happy with that. In fact, I'm really happy with that, especially considering that the last holster I made for the Ultra Carry was this guy. I mean, look how well this one shrouds the trigger as opposed to this one. And the retention's not even good on this guy. My edges are kind of crappy, and it looks kind of floppy. I'm definitely starting to feel like the 800ths is superior to the 600ths for a lot of things. I might make some mag carriers out of the 600th just because I have a couple sheets of it. But at any rate, just this example here leads me to the tips that I want to share with you. And that the first one is, you know, just what I said now. I have some 600ths, so I'm going to experiment with it with mag carriers. Do side projects and experiment. If you don't want to invest the amount of you know, time and resources it takes to make a holster, start doing little things. Start just like make something that holds a flashlight or a cell phone or pens and pencils. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just get yourself familiar with the material and experiment. Because, I mean, you can't be afraid to screw up. The most you've done is spent $5 or $10 on a sheet of Kydex. So what if you screw up? You know? I'll show you my screw-ups. You may have seen them. I showed you one the other day with the Kimber Raptor holster that I just finished. Yeah, you know, that's what it takes to familiarize yourself with the material. Don't be afraid of screwing up. Just keep working, and if you make something that looks like a mess, you can always melt it down or throw it out. Who cares? That's how you get better at things. You screw up, you move on. I learned that being an auto mechanic. You know, you're going to encounter things that surprise you. You're going to encounter things that you have to figure out, and if you make a mistake, you fix it and you keep going. You know, that's life. Life is about making mistakes. So don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to make a holster that works and then immediately turn around and make another one. You know? This one, probably never going to use it again. Goes in the pile. This one is pretty excellent. Inevitably, I'm going to improve on it. I don't necessarily know how at this point, because this guy's pretty good, I think. I mostly like the shape. I love the colors. I don't know why I didn't do two-tone earlier. But, and I like the finish. I don't necessarily know how much, I don't know, I guess getting better from this point is going to be, the learning curve gets steeper and steeper and steeper. But at any rate, tip number 2 is take your time. Everything I don't like about this one is because I rushed it. Everything that I like about this one is because I took my time. I took my time doing tedious crap. You know how, I don't have a belt sander or anything, or any kind of electric sander. You know how long it took to do these edges? I mean, I started this holster at like 10:30 in the morning, and I finished it after 2 o'clock. 75% of that was sanding these edges and getting them perfect. And then like a little bit of tweaking here and there. So don't be afraid to take the time. I mean, you might wind up throwing it out. You might make a mistake on it and then toss it. But that doesn't mean you should be afraid to invest time and energy in it. So what if it takes you all day? That's how you learn things, I've spent all day on things that don't pay me that much, fixing cars, The first transmission I did took me all day and only paid like 6 hours. That's how you learn. But, so, take your time. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Make your own tools. I have this old crappy belt that I employed as a way to help make these belt loop templates. Find things around that meet your needs and employ them. If you want to, I don't know, you're gonna come up with all sorts of stuff that makes your life easier when you're doing these. You might encounter problems that I haven't encountered and come up with ingenious solutions for them. So be open to the opportunity for finding ways to make your life easier as you progress through this. Clean the Kydex frequently. Make sure that you're always, after every step of the process, clean it off. Give it a rinse, wash it with some soap and water so you don't get grit inside. This is something that I wish I had learned a lot earlier. And I don't know why it didn't occur to me. It just, I thought I could, blow it out with some compressed air or something, it would all be fine. But you really should rinse it. Get all the fine particulate matter out of there. Don't get married to any particular idea. Don't get stuck on one way of doing things. I mean, you can see here, last week I said, oh yeah, look guys, here's a great way to make belt loops, blah, 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 and I made a video about it. Yeah, you know what? Turns out I found a way that I like better. It's easier to make them. They're less bulky, in a way. They're more low profile, I should say. And they're just easier and faster to make, and I like them better. And I came up with these because the next step is look at what other people do. Look for inspiration in other designs. Because, you'll see something and you go, oh, wow, I really like that. And what's wrong with copying it? The pictures are out there on the internet. What's wrong with looking at it and adapting it to your needs, or using that as a jumping off point? Or you look at something and go, oh wow, well this gives me this other idea. So look around. Look at every single other manufacturer out there. Look at what other people are doing. And, you take a little from here, a little from there, and before you know it, you've got something that's relatively unique. I mean, this has elements of other designs in it, but it also has my own design to it. I like it. This guy looks pretty sharp. What else is there? Yeah, it's really, there's a lot of things you can do on the cheap that, and you can get really good results without investing in that much equipment. But there's going to become a time, and this folds into the next one, where you're going to have to start investing in bits and pieces of equipment. I mean, I got this scroll saw over here that greatly improves not only the quality of the work, but the enjoyment I get out of making them. So be prepared that you're going to get a little overboard. Be prepared for the addiction to set in, you know? It's really easy to get hooked on making these. You know, you start making 1 a week, 2 a week, 3 a week, 1 a day, you know? So just get ready. You know, if you're like me and you get into something, you get into it 110%. And it becomes all-consuming, and all you can do is think about the next one that's going to be better, you know? I'm thinking about the next one that's going to be better on this. I don't like this shape right here. I wish it went up a little bit in a classier, sexier way. This one, the more I look at it, seems like it could be a little lumpy. But well, that looks pretty good. That's pretty effective. So yeah, take your time to do the finished work. Don't rush ahead because you feel like it's going to be done and you can't withstand the excitement of being finished the project. Make your own tools if you get stuck. Spring for the stuff that'll make your life easier. Clean your Kydex. Experiment on side projects. Don't get married to a single idea. Don't like bludgeon your way through something when you could just think laterally and come up with another way of doing it. Try different styles, try different solutions, and look at what other people do. And get ready to be addicted to it. So anyway, now that we've gone through that, I'm going to throw the holster on and show you how this one works. Oh, if you don't mind, I'm going to get a sip of beer here. Oh, I mentioned that it's been like 100 degrees here in Philadelphia for, it feels like as long as I can remember now. That's not cool at all. That's not even, I don't have any patience for this. I hate this weather. I don't feel like a husky dude until the weather starts getting hot, and then I go outside and I can't cool off for the rest of the day. I think it reached a point somewhere in my mid-20s where, you know, I put on that last 5 pounds, and I just my body retains all the heat that it comes in contact with. I'll be wearing shorts in the wintertime before you know it. I'll be that guy. That's not cool at all. Not acceptable. But the advantage is I get to stay inside and do these projects, which is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So here we go. That looks pretty good. I feel like that rides at a nice height. It looks a little less lumpy once it's in place in the belt here. So obviously, you know, we just safety checked it. So let's see if I get the right position. It's pretty good retention. Hey, I'm happy with this one too. I think those belt loops wind up looking pretty good. Gives it like a good pancake effect. I like the curve to it. I like how snug it is against the body. If I had to, I could just, maybe not this shirt, but I could throw a shirt over it. Well, there you go. There's that one. This one is pretty happy with it. I love the two-tone. I think they're all going to be two-tone from now on. Black is typical and boring. Two-tone is classy. Classy indeed. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. Go forth and make Kydex projects and enjoy them. And, you know, just let yourself fall in love with it and start to appreciate the tedious aspects of it, and the quality of your projects is just going to increase and increase and increase. So good luck, guys.